Alright guys, we're back with some more MX vs ATV Legends. Today we have a monster update to show you. Now you should have this update available to you by the time you see the video. Maybe you've already downloaded it and tried it, but if you haven't, this is what you can kind of expect. Now this is the introduction. The video is going to be set up in customization will be first. This update was a huge customization update, especially for the bike, some for the rider. And then there was a physics change, which we will show you and talk about, and then some online stuff. That's kind of the main big points to this update, and there was more in the patch notes, but that was kind of the main points, right? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about, and then at the very end, I kind of want to talk about, first I want to get your opinions on it, how you feel about it, if you've tried it, or if you haven't, what you think about it after seeing it. And then I kind of want to talk about the top 3 to 5 things I want to see MX vs ATV Legends get added to the game and see hopefully in the near future. Some of it they've talked about already, and you know, just kind of go from there. So just kind of a small introduction to let you know what's going to happen, but let's jump into it and check out the monster update. Okay, so first up we have the bike customization. I'm going to go through the parts we have. So we have new exhaust, we have Yoshimura for all the bikes, I believe the quads as well, and I think we got new handlebars. I'm not sure, I mean, I think these are new, but I didn't necessarily unlock all of them, so I'm not sure, but we have these new graphics kits. These new HRC kits for Honda are super sick, really awesome. 3 for the Honda, and not all the bikes got the same amount. All of them got something, but Husky, for example, has 1. We have the Factory Racing 23 kit there, and then the Kawasaki. This is super sick, right? So we showed you this as a mod, but we have this kit and Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Super sick. Like I said, we had it as a mod, but now you have it in the game. So really cool. KTM got 1 kit, the FMF KTM 23 kit, similar to the Husky. The Suzuki got 2 really cool kits. They're both the same, but have blue here or red. So 2 different versions for the Suzuki, and I guess the rear fender's white too, so that's kind of cool. The Yamaha got a really sick kit. There are 2 for the Yamaha. We have this kit. This is so sick. Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, and then the Blue Crew 23. So really sweet. Now some of the kits I show you here for the 2-stroke do transfer over. So the Yamaha kits do switch over for the 2-stroke. We have the Yoshimura exhaust for the 2-strokes as well. But for the CR125, 250, you know, there is no graphics kit, so HRC doesn't transfer over to that bike. Then we have rider customization. There was some added here. We got 3 new 7 helmets, one of which has a colorway, you know, color customization option to it. We got some new goggles. We got 100%, where we can change the color customization on it. And then a bunch of Thor goggles. They're all kind of the same, but different color to them. No jersey, no pants, but we did get a bunch of boots, a bunch of Thor boots. So there was a lot of Thor gear added in this update. And it wasn't, I mean, it was a decent amount. Of course, I want to see more, but still pretty good. Pretty good, pretty happy with it. Moving on to the physics change, it was one very specific change to the physics, and that would be to the sand and the way the bike reacts and controls in the sand. So I felt like Detroit Supercross was a good place to test it because it has that S-turn section that is sand. And the reason I say that is because the change was to the way the bike will control and react around hitting a berm in the sand. So if you hit the outside berm, or just a berm in general in the sand, it should feel better. You should have more traction. It should just be more fun to hit in general. But if you hit the sand on the flat, not using the berm, it's going to be more difficult, I guess. I didn't notice too much of a change. I mean, it's there. I would say it's a good change, and if you play the game a lot, you probably will notice it. But for me, it was pretty minor. It was pretty minor for a physics change. The final part to the update would be the online changes. Some of it was just quality of life stuff that needed to be done, but one major change was made to where you have that player that gives up or quits playing or just isn't active and then stops on the track and kind of griefs everybody, right? Well, from the way it sounded, and I might have it wrong, but the way it sounded to me is those players will become a ghost. So you should be able to ride through them, which if that's the case, that's a great change because, again, it is kind of griefing, right? It is griefing when you're having a battle, trying to have fun, and a guy just stops in the middle of the track. Now, for the guy that, you know, goes back and forth over the finish line to grief everybody, I don't know if that will work. I don't know if it's just due to inactivity or not moving enough or whatever. If it's just due to inactivity, I think they might have to work on it for stopping on the finish line to go back and forth to grief. But either way, it's a good change, and I think it improves the online gameplay for sure. So that's the online play changes or multiplayer changes. There was more, but like I said, I don't have the patch notes sitting next to me. So if you're really curious, go check them out. But that was the main points to the update. This was a very big, heavy customization update, which was welcomed. I mean, the customization is a side of the game that I felt like was weak and needed to be better, and it definitely got significantly better after this update. Of course, I want more rider customization and maybe even more bike customization, but the graphics kits were awesome. They did a great job, and it's really cool to see some of the factory replica graphics kits added to the game. It's been a while since we've seen that, so really cool, really good. Now, I do ride around on some tracks using some of the graphics kits and some of the different gear and new gear and whatnot, but for the rest of the video, what I want to talk about is the top 3, maybe 5 things that I want to see in the game, like right now. Immediately, number 1 would be bike sound. I've seen so many comments from the beginning recently on videos I do that say, you know, I'd buy this game if the sound didn't suck, if the sound wasn't so bad. And you know what? I can agree with you because it's virtually the same sound we had in the game before this in MX vs ATV All Out. So it is a disappointment, but they have mentioned they are planning a full rework of the sound, which I hope can happen this year. I don't know if it will be that way. I mean, it's probably a pretty big project, but hopefully it can happen in the second year of release for MX vs ATV Legends. Now, number 2 would be the pit bike. Now, I don't know if they've come out and said that a pit bike will be added to the game, but they have posted a poll asking the community what pit bike or what mini bike they'd prefer to see in the game, and I'm pretty sure a 110 was the unanimous winner. So if they do decide to do it, if it happens, I'm hoping to see a 110 in the game. A 110 would be great. It would be really cool to use that bike at the sleigh ground DLC on the 110 track, obviously. It'd be really cool to see, so definitely to see pit bikes, mini bikes, you know, 110s added to the game would be great. Number 2 is pretty number 3, is pretty obvious in my opinion. It's the tracks. The tracks are what keep the game going. I mean, Legends has great tracks and you can spend tons and tons of time on them, but I want to see new tracks. I want new content, new tracks for Season 2. I mean, we know we're going to get new tracks probably, but it's a matter of when. It's been 4 months since the last new track DLC we got, which was the Sleigh Ground DLC, so it's been a while. I mean, the sleigh ground is still super fun to play, and I usually still go there and burn off laps on the insane motocross track, but I want to see new tracks. I want new track content, and hopefully sooner than later. And we're not really sure what their plan is, but that would be my number 3. Number 4 would be leaderboards. We need leaderboards in the game. It's something that should have been there from the beginning, but it isn't. And I want to see it because I know there's a bunch of you that are hot lapping machines and want to see what a fast lap time would be in the game. So you have something to go for sure. So that's 4. I don't know what 5 was. I had 5, but I don't remember what the 5th one was. So I guess it's just going to be a top 4 list. Let me know in the comments what your guys' list would be for most wanted things or features added to the game, and how you feel about the update. If you've tried it, let me know in the comments. If you haven't tried it and you're just seeing the video, let me know in the comments how you feel about what you've seen. Of course, people are going to want more, but this was a good update. This was a good monster customization update with some quality of life changes and adjustments that were definitely wanted as well. So yeah, you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.